All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a Walking Dead Q&A. I'm not sure what to name this one, man. I'm going to call it, even though it's not like, okay, so it's not confirmed who Negan killed in the Walking Dead Season 6 finale, Last Day on Earth. But it's like, it's so close that I want to say it. Major spoiler warning. So don't say you weren't warned. Here it is. Okay, so I'll put the link in the description. You guys can go ahead and check this out. It looks like Steven Yeun has been cast in another new movie. So we talked about Mayhem last week. It's another movie he's working on right now. He's filming overseas. And it turns out he's actually been cast in another movie. This one's called Okja. Okja, something of the sort. It's on the IMDb page. The country listed is South Korea. Language is Korean, and its release date is filmed in 2017. So, you know, it'll be starting soon. I don't have too many details about the movie in terms of it. I'll put the links in the description for what I've been able to find so far. I don't know exact filming dates. Right now it's in pre-production status. So, you know, can't say for sure, but I'll put the link from comicbook.com. It says The Walking Dead Steven Yeun cast in sci-fi film Okja. The Walking Dead actor Steven Yeun is certainly stepping out of the post-apocalyptic box for his next project, the upcoming science fiction film Okja. Yeun joins a loaded cast via ITHR, which also stars Tilda Swinton, Jake Gyllenhaal, Paul Dano, and Lily Collins. Is about a young girl played by Seo-Hun An. Apologies for my bad, attempts at pronouncing these. Who befriends and raises a pig named Okja. The catch is that Okja was genetically manufactured, and because of that genetic meddling, grows to enormous size. It's a giant pig. It's a movie about a giant pig. When the company who made him takes Okja, the girl sets out on a mission to find her giant pig. So what's up, man? Forget these zombies. I'm out of here, man. Not enough food here. I'm after this giant pig. So, all right, let's just come out and say it. It's pretty obvious at this point, I think, unless I'm being thrown through some kind of crazy loop and something, and we live in Bizarro land or something. I don't know. I'm just going to say it. It's got to be Glenn, man. At this point, he's had another movie. This is another one. And, you know, most of us thought it was him anyway. Like I said in my breakdown video, you know, my interpretation is that the spot that he was at was Glenn. You've got some people, they've even broken down. I've seen the rocks in front of where Negan hits the camera. Boom, it goes down. You see these rocks that look very similar to where Glenn was. The RV was on this side. In the background, you don't see the RV. There's a lot of things we've talked about. You guys have seen the videos, and we talked about Glenn's likelihood. And I put him at number one to start. Now it's like, oh, yeah, for sure. So you can't say 100% confirmed. You know, just like with Mayhem, it was the same deal. But it just seems like, you know, it's so close, it's almost there. I mean, at this point, if it's not Glenn, I will be shocked. I'll still do some other videos. There's some theories. Comicbook.com has also done some, like, each character theories, and people wanted to hear my thoughts on that. So they've got one kind of for each character, like one for Abraham theory, one for Eugene, one for Glenn, one for... Yeah, but I still want to say that Glenn is for sure the most likely, and this is just, you know, again, it's just kind of more info. We'll see once we see the trailer, but it just seems like that to me. There's a lot of other things too in the episode too that just makes it seem like it's Glenn. Also, Chris Hardwick from Talking Dead, when he was asked on Facebook, he also said that he thought it was Glenn too. So, pretty crazy stuff. I definitely wanted to do a video on this one, giving my thoughts on it. We'll get into a few of your guys' other questions for the Q&A to add to it. Let me know what you guys think. Write your comments below. Are you still thinking... Here's what I'll ask. If there's anybody who's still thinking it's somebody else, like it's Abraham or it's Eugene or somebody, let me know. Write it in the comments below if you still think it is. You know, even after all this, because it seems like to me that yeah, it's really looking like it's Glenn at this time for sure. Next question was from Mark Devlin, and he says, "Hey Trev, here's a question. How would you rank every season of The Walking Dead from worst to best?" I'll do it best to worst, Mark. for you, man. Here's where I go with it. Everybody's different. Some people's favorite season is season 2. Some people's favorite season is season 1. And everybody ranks it differently. So my ranking is this. I'd put season 6 at number 1 right now, season 5 at number 2, season 3 at number 3, season 4 at number 4, season 2 at number 5, and then season 1 would be last, simply because it's only 6 episodes, and even though it's incredible for the 6 episodes and really good quality condensed, and I could see why people would rank it higher, I still am going to put it there because I feel like the 16 episode seasons cumulatively really are giving us more, as a season than just a 6 episode season. So it's not always the case, but that's what I'm going for in this one. But I can see if people break it down differently. I think the score for season 5 might be higher than season 6. Part of that could be because a lot of people were pissed off about the finale, but I'm not sure. But that's my breakdown. Season 3 was my favorite up until 5, and then now it's 5 and 6 have surpassed it for me. I mean, they're just great seasons. Season 4 was actually surprisingly a little weak, aside from Too Far Gone, I want to say. So at least in replay value, because the sickness stuff upon second viewing isn't that fun. Interment's really good though. That's a good episode from that part, and the governor stuff is cool. I still like it a lot, but in other words, there's my breakdown for that. Did the video about kind of the breakdown of the season and how I think it's going to go in terms of the current volumes and that, yesterday for you guys. Jesus replied back. He had kind of a breakdown. He just basically summed it up. Episode 1, Summing to Fear for season 7. Episodes 2 to 4, What Comes After. Episodes 5 to 6, filler, most likely. Episodes 7 to 8, March to War. Episodes 9 to 16, All Out War, Part 1, and probably some filler. And I wanted to include that because I think it got quite a few thumbs up. Yeah, that's a pretty legit prediction. I think it makes sense based on the previous seasons that's kind of the formula they'll probably go with, and we'll see if they decide not to include any filler at all. And I also added this comment from Liam Boyle because a few people thumbed this one up too. He said, "You call it filler. I look at it more as original content." And you're absolutely right. I've called it original content in the past before. I've also said The Walking Dead doesn't really have filler at one point. So to kind of comment is that I'm not disagreeing with you. I actually do agree with you. I just refer to it using that language because so many people have referred to it as that over the seasons, and they do it to fill out the season. They add to it to fill out the episodes. But you're right, it is original content. Daryl is original. Merle is original. Morgan's a lot of Morgan stuff is kind of original versus the comic book series version. So they add a lot of original content. Carol is original, and I don't mean filler, meaning like it's just garbage, like it's just crap. Like sometimes in anime, if you watch Naruto, Dragon Ball, any other anime really, if it has filler, a lot of times it's total garbage. Like it doesn't even fit with the rest of the series. It can have continuity problems. It can have all kinds of issues. The Walking Dead is not like that. It doesn't have crap filler or shit filler that's just garbage, except some people say the Beth story arc from season 5 is crap filler because they go through this whole thing with the hospital. We get to know everybody, we get to see them and everything, and then in the end she just dies when they get there anyway. So sometimes maybe it may not turn out as good as Kirkman's writing originally, but you take the good with the bad. You also get, on the flip side, you get Daryl, you get Merle, you get all those other things I talked about. So you got to make a choice. But I agree with you. I'm not saying filler meaning like it's just garbage content. I'm saying that you're right, but I'm using the word not aggressively, offensively. I'm using the word to say that they do space out the season using add-ins, of course, which is fine. I mean, I like some of it. Morgan's flashback episode is also, you'd also call that from season 6. It feels weird saying season 6. I feel like saying season 5 still because it's like it's the last season now. The Vindicator says, "Hey Trev, do you think the All Out War storyline will be in the second half of season 7? And I think we'll see some of it. I almost thought it would be season 8 mostly, but season 6 went at a crazy pace and they brought Negan in already, which is kind of, I consider Negan's appearance to be early already because I thought that that would be later on. But season 5 and season 6 pacing got a lot more closer to the comic books than season 4, and maybe that's why they're better seasons. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I love the comic books so much. I love to see them adapted. Tough call, but they've definitely done a great job the last couple seasons, and they've sped up the pace a bit, more than I thought they would. Then we'll do a couple more. Next one's from, actually I didn't write down the name for this one, but I apologize for the person who asked this. But the question is, Trev, what's your opinion of Jeffery Dean Morgan's portrayal of Negan? So I'll just make this quick. So far, pretty good. Yeah, good. So far, I liked it. But I'd like to see more in season 7 of kind of the comedic part of Negan, the comedy part of Negan, where he's joking around, goofing around, being silly, and being really funny. Because we haven't seen, it's been a very serious introduction for him. And, the way Jeffery Dean Morgan played it was like he was at a funeral where he's got to break bad news to them and he's relaxed and everything's cool. I don't really picture Negan that way generally. I kind of picture Negan as, when he says, "Are you pissing her pants yet?" Oh boy, do I. It's kind of like the writing to me seems like he would be highly energetic, highly enthusiastic, and then switch, boom, to or enjoy it too, sadistically. So he's got a unique mixture. So maybe that's my problem, that I don't interpret him correctly to how Kirkman originally envisioned him. He seems more serious, is what I want to say, than the comic book version, which isn't bad. It's just a stylistic choice to be a little bit more serious than comedic. So but I like him so far. I want to see him do more comedy parts next season. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's too early to judge anyway. Next one's from Kayy, and then we'll do one more after this. And the question was, how far behind the comics is the series? And Austin answered it. He said, issue 154 versus issue 100 now. We're pretty much at issue 100 at this point. Even though we haven't seen the death yet, that'll be in the. So we're like right there. So we're 54 issues behind. It's not really catching. I mean, is it like that brings a question? Like, is it catching up? Is the show catching up to the comics? I mean. That's kind of tough to see if it's actually gaining on it. You'd have to look like a few seasons ago and see, and do the math and see if it's gaining on it. But we're still a ways behind because there's time skips in the comic book series and there's things like that happen, and there's a lot of stuff. But it does really start to feel like we're getting to a further point in the story now because it's a point that was written in the comic books when the TV show was airing, which is a weird feeling versus before when they were basing it on it and the TV show wasn't running at that time. And the last one will be from InDaReel. He says, well, if they cut up All Out War like they did No Way Out, I won't be impressed, because I had said in my explain video that I feel like All Out War is probably going to be cut up and slow down a bit. And he says he won't be impressed by that. Well, here's the thing. In the TV series version, they kind of have to. You kind of have to. Like, you can't do straight through action all the way through. If you've seen movies like I think Battlefield Los Angeles, is that the name of the movie? It's so forgettable. It's so bad. I watched the movie. I mean, the action is cool. If you like action, it's one of the most action intensive sci-fi type alien battle movies you could ever see. But the whole thing is pretty much straight through action with almost no breaks all the way through. And what it does is it tires the shit out of you. Like, you need to have ups and downs naturally. You can't just have up all the way through. It's got to be ups and downs. And also, to fill out that many episodes, they have to have some slower parts in there too. The Walking Dead pretty much already does, I want to say, about as good a job as it can of having, all the crazy episodes and everything. All the parts of the comic in All Out War, if they were to do that all straight through, just like in the comic, without adding in all kinds of extra stuff, it would just be crazy. If you look at the first half of season 6, you have a lot of different little slow parts and dialogue and things like that. And, you have to mix that in as well too. And the comics don't have that much during All Out War. It's most of it's fighting with a few parts here, but a lot of it's just very action crazy, fighting intensive with not as much dialogue as other parts of the series. So I'll call it here for today's Q&A, guys. Let me know what you think about Steven Yeun being cast in another one, or do you think it's that doesn't really mean anything? It could be, because Norman Reedus, you could argue Norman Reedus has been working on other stuff too. For me, it just seems like that's got to be what it is, and I'll be shocked if in this one it turns out to be not Glenn at this point. Write your comments below. Let me know what you guys think. And if you like this video, please thumb it up below. Please don't forget to thumb it up, guys. I always appreciate it. You can also share if you've got a Facebook and you want to share through to Facebook, let other people know about the news. You can do that. You can also favorite. And if you're new and you want to sub, you can subscribe at the bottom left. That's it for this video. I'll see you guys again probably tomorrow with a new Walking Dead video. It's always just Trev. I'm saying peace. See you guys.